This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Return of the Lost by D.K. Holmberg. Prologue. Jal. The sweet scent of the forest was a mixture of the fragrance of the trees, a note of pine and oak, and even a dampness that spoke of the recent rain. There was something else as well, but Jal wasn't quite certain of what he detected as he breathed it all in. He stood listening to the wind whisper through the trees, and he felt the way the breeze pressed in on him, making him sway from side to side. Jal glanced over to Wooler, who stood with her hands resting near the hilts of both swords, tense as she often was. "You don't look as if you enjoy the forest," Jal said to her. "This is nothing like my homeland." He tipped his head back, feeling the wind gusting around him, and when a Baron howled softly, he turned toward it. The creatures surrounded them. There was something thrilling about being surrounded by Baron. In the time he and Wooler had been traveling with them, Jal had slowly begun to relax, though Wooler had not. She remained on edge, as if the Baron may attack at any moment. Another one howled again. He glanced up as the sound echoed around him, and then he turned and looked at Wooler. She grabbed the tasseled hilts of her blades and spun in place, twisting so that she could peer all around her. He doubted that she would see much, though. These were Baron, after all, and they were able to blend into the forest when they wanted to. Even Alainsith could not track the Baron if the creatures did not want to be followed. "We should keep moving," Jal said. "Do you think me uncomfortable?" Wooler asked. "I know we are not in the lands of the Jute, nor are we in Sanaran where you are comfortable. I appreciate that you are interested in seeing my lands. It's not about seeing your lands, it is about your people." Jal smiled to himself. Most believed the Alainsith a singular people, but they were distinct families. And now that he had learned the truth about the Southern family and their role in the spread of witchcraft, he felt as if he had no choice but to return to share that with his own family. "I can't get over the fact that the Baron are following us," Wooler said. "Traveling with us," Jal replied, "not following." He tried to sound flippant, but it was difficult to sound confident when they had Baron prowling alongside them. The creatures had been with them ever since they'd left Sanaran. Jal shifted his bow, settling it on his shoulders in such a way that it would not dig into his arm. It felt heavier, though he knew that was imagined. The bow was not the Blackheart's blade, taking on increasing aspects of power with each life it claimed. It was simply that, a bow. A tool his grandfather had taught him to use at a young age, wanting Jal to master the art of archery. His grandfather had viewed it as an art, much the way that the Hedjan viewed their connection to the powers in the world as an art. Jal didn't find it strange. It was fitting. The Hedjan had learned much from time spent observing his kind, though they had never lived among them. Lily would have liked the journey. Maybe not as much as she would were Hona's to come with her, but she would have enjoyed traveling with him, and Jal would have enjoyed having her with him. Perhaps that was what he missed most of all, having his team. It wasn't anything he would have expected to value as much as he had, until he'd gotten close to Kaner and come to know how useful a team like that could be. Now he couldn't imagine a time without it. They were a family. Dysfunctional, but so too was his own family. "What are they doing?" Wooler asked. "They're trying to tell us something." A large, brown-furred female Baron walked toward him with a massive snout and vicious fangs. Jal suspected she was the same one that had approached him before, and probably the same one that had helped him defeat the Prophet. He held out his hand as he moved closer. There were several ways someone could approach a Baron. The first was with a weapon. If you were lucky, you lasted more than a few moments. The only times he'd seen something like that had been when a man, and it was always a man, was foolish enough to think he could attack them.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.